Hi, this is Tamara Patzer, and I want to show you how to set up your Zoom in BeeKonnected, and I think this is the easiest way to do it. So let me go ahead and go into a new window, and I'm going to go into the actual Zoom.us and go into my account. This is what I found to be the easiest way to set up the account or the meeting. So you go to my account, and this is probably going to be a little bit slow, and you'll go into your account and then you go to webinar, and it opens up and you actually can schedule a webinar right here in the right hand corner. It says schedule a webinar. So you click on that, and then you actually go make a webinar. So I will say this is a BeeKonnected test webinar. Enter your webinar description, whatever it's about. If you have a template, you can do it. If not, just leave it at select a template, set it for the time, the date and the time. And you want this to be in Central Time because BeeKonnected, everything is set up in Central Time. So if you're in Eastern Time, you have to make sure that you know, for example, if I have something at 11 o'clock East or Central Time, that's my noon. And if you want it to be reoccurring, you click this. Registration, you actually will undo the required button here, and here is your passcode. So you would say your passcode. In my case, my passcode is Ask Tammy. So you click that, and they said to unclick the required at BeeKonnected because that's in the BeeKonnected. I turn on the host and the panelists on. I say use both for the audio, and I enabled the webinar options, the Q&As. You can enable a practice session if you want, and just read all these and choose, and if you have an alternative host, and then you just schedule it. So the information that you're going to be using from this over in BeeKonnected is, this is your webinar ID here. And when you move it over to BeeKonnected, you're going to remove the spaces. So what I would do is I would open up my notes, and again, I'm on a Mac, so I don't know what you have, but you would just go and, whoops, copy your webinar ID here, and I would paste it into my notes. Okay, and then again, you're gonna get rid of the spaces there. And then you go back, and you know that you want your link. Here's your link for this webinar. So you're going to copy this link here. So I just copied the link, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste that link. And then again, my password is Ask Tammy. Okay, so whatever that is. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the share on this. Well, no, I don't need to stop the share. Just one moment. Okay, now we're going to go over to BeeKonnected. Okay, so you go to BeeKonnected, and this is where I think a lot of people get confused because my groups are actually set up in my original associations. So I log in. Okay, and it shows that you log in, and then you go to the groups. Like if you look under About Me, there's nothing there about anything groups or anything. You're going to go over groups right here, and you go into your Beehive group, and then you find your group. And in my case, my shows are under expert profiles, group profile. And then you can scroll here. And as you can see, I have some groups here. I'm going to create an event. Now, there may be another way in, and so we'll do this first. So I'm going to say this is my BeeKonnected test, group, expert profile, select the category. Let's just call it money and finance. And then I'm going to choose today, and I'm going to say it's 11 a.m. because I actually have a show coming up, and this is actually interviews Chris Quintana. Okay, now here, this is where you can get confused. You're going to call it promotional YouTube video, and this will remain blank unless you put some promotional video in. This is where you're going to put your meeting, Zoom meeting ID, which is this right here that I got. Okay, and so I'm going to put that in. Whoops, sorry, wrong place. That link I just did was actually the Zoom link, which is the long one. The meeting ID is this. This is actually going to be probably the same every single time because that is the BeeKonnected ID. So there you go, you have that. Zoom meeting password is, in my case, Ask Tammy. So this is where you put in your Zoom meeting password. And in my case, it's Ask Tammy. You're smart to always have your own Zoom meeting password. Allow on the public calendar, yes. Status will be published. Start date will be today. End date. I would have all of my shows that go to the end of 22. And again, you can change this in the future, but that allows this event search term. So in this case, if I'm talking about money, finance, accounting, I'm just using that. And then Chris Quintana and my name, because I figure why not expert profile. So that way people can find this show. And it is not country specific. And again, you can use up to 500 characters. So I would do a much better, longer description than what I'm doing here. But that's how you do it, okay? Notification allowed, yes, because you want them. And then you say add registration, yes. This is where you add the registration. You don't do it in the Zoom. That's why we unclicked that. Now, if you have a picture, and I'll just go find, let's see if I have a picture of Chris. Again, I need to make, I actually need to make one. Let's go ahead, and here's Chris. So I'll go ahead and do this because I've actually done work with her. And again, you make it fit the square box. And also, just to let you know, they have an odd dimension. These are squares, so your dimension should be 300 by 300, 400 by 400, 600 by 600, 1200 by 1200, not the odd number they put in, because when I tried doing it their way, it really doesn't work. This is going to look really nice. This recommended resolution 700 by 500 is not correct. It should be like 700 by 700. It's a square, not an oblong. So anyway, now you save your changes. Okay, and now if you go to your home right here, this should pop up. There it is. So it shows that Chris is right there. And as you can tell, there's other shows. Tracy's show is on at 11. My show's on at 11. Cool Way to Calm is on. It doesn't matter that our shows are on at the same time because we would have different audiences, and the replay is what is really important here. So now this is important. How in the world do you get the replay? Now this is where you really need to pay attention, because the way you get the replay in a YouTube video is when you do the actual Zoom, you're going to choose the YouTube video so that you will actually get the replay. And then when you come back, the show will already be recorded to Zoom. Now, the way that you do that is I'm going to stop the share, and hopefully, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you literally go into your Zoom under the more, and you would choose YouTube as your live stream, and it automatically goes into the live stream. So you have to practice this a little bit. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. And if you need more help on finding that YouTube video to do the replay, I'll do that. Before I let you go, though, let me go back to the share. Okay, let me go back to the share, and I want to just show you exactly where that would be. Again, go into your group, and you'll be able to go into the group where your show is, and you're going to find this. My test should be there somewhere. Let's see, Gabriel. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Now, let me fix this. And the reason I'm putting my name first is because I want people to get to know my name and connect me with, oh, that's the person who interviews all those cool people. So let me do that. Now, here's what you're going to do when the show is over and how you get the replay up. Okay, so when the show is over, you get the replay. Remember, you recorded it live on Zoom at the very same time that you did the Zoom. You don't have to do it that way, but believe me, you don't want to record the show, download the show, and upload into Zoom or into YouTube. You want to do it this way. This way, you'll eliminate a big production step. So what you're going to do then is you're literally going to go to replay video, and when you get the YouTube share link, you'll put it right here under the event promotional link, and then you'll save it, and boom, now you'll have a replay, because this video type here supersedes everything else. Now, Vimeo is a paid service. That's why you want to use YouTube video over Vimeo. And you can set up your YouTube site so that it will actually mean that you'll be able to attract more people out in the real world and on social media. Again, Vimeo is paid. It costs a minimum of $50 per month. They want to be paid in advance. And what I found was that when you start to do these things, and $50 here, $50 there, it adds up. And recently I actually eliminated $500 out of all of the things that I bought that I really didn't need. So again, when you're done, you go to replay video, go get your YouTube replay link, put it here, and save it, and you will have your replay. And it's best to do that as soon as possible after the show is over. So that is what we have. So I just wanted, again, in my experience, going into the group, finding your group, and then going inside your group, scrolling down into your events, and you can edit any of your shows after they've been done. Okay, so events, here's your event tab here. Click on it and we'll just see what it shows. It says create an event. You can go ahead and create an event there also. It would be the exact same procedure. You're always going to be choosing a group. And I guess if you don't, see that little red star, that means you have to have a group, or because it has to pick a place to live. So that's how it all works. It's pretty simple.